Hey guys, it's Bob with JohnyTechReview and I hope you guys are doing well. Recently I received this item in the mail. It was sent to me for a review and I found it was interesting, so I decided to review it. This is a digital film scanner and you can find this product on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. First, thank you for the company for sending it out to me to review. It comes in a unit like this, and what this is basically a film scanner. So what this does is you can take those old negative film that you have. Maybe your parents or your family has some old film that you want to scan, and you can put these through this machine. So it's a pretty simple to use device. It does come with 4 different adapters. It comes with the 35mm negative. It's called 135mm. There's also 126, 110, and then Super 8 negative. I have the 135 negative, which is the 35mm film that we typically take in the past. I was only able to find a few pictures of myself because I don't know where all my films are. Maybe my parents has them, but my wife did have a bunch of them, so I started using hers and tested out. So for those of you who don't know what this is, then this device is probably not for you. If you do know what this is, then this will be a way for you to scan those negatives. So you can see here, this is from Echo. Used to be, I think, CVS or Rite Aid. One of them bought it out. Used to be a drugstore, and they got bought out. But anyway, the unit is pretty simple. It comes with 4 different slides, as I mentioned. A power adapter. It uses a mini USB port, so it's a pretty old device, and it comes with a little power adapter. And this is the unit that you're getting right now. So in this unit, it's pretty simple. You have a thing at the bottom here. This is the adapter that you can slide the film in. You can take it out like that, and you can put the film in there. And the film, you have to feed them in basically by hand, so you can stick the negative in there and slowly feed them through. I'll show some video of that so you can see it. But inside is there's a light, and then there's I guess a camera that pick it up. Up front here you have the convert and mode button, left, right, power, and then the enter button. So the screen is not a touch screen, it's a little bit older device, but it works pretty well. You just have to kind of navigate left and right and press OK here to use it. You would basically stick the slide in and then feed your film in slowly, and then you pull out on the other side, and then you can just go picture by picture, so you have to manually feed it. Here is a film. Really hard to see. This is a film negative, sorry. So this was developed probably in 2001, way back in the day. This is the 35mm adapter, and you can feed it in either direction. So it depends on how you want your picture to come out. It could be upside down, something like that. So as you feed it through here, you can see it's starting to change color. Here's a picture of me back in the day in high school, I think. Here's another picture, as you can see. And it looked nothing like that on the negative, of course. But as you can see, as you feed it through the scan, you have to manually adjust. There's no automatic. You just manually adjust the way you want it to be. You press the convert button once. That will bring up this menu here. And then all you gotta do is just click OK to accept it. And that is now saved to the memory card. So in the back here you have the SD card. If you don't put in an SD slot, the device actually have a built-in memory. It's only about 110 megabyte, I think, of storage. And on here, I forgot to mention, but I think you can shoot it in 14 megapixel or 22 megapixel scanning anyway. I scanned it in 22 megapixel, and the picture is just roughly about, I believe, 2 to 3 megabytes each. So 110, you can take 30-40 pictures before you run out of internal memory. If you stick in an SD card, it supports all the way up to 128. I have some hard time. I was using one of these Samsung 32 gigs, and it's one of these faster one. For some reason I was having a hard time with these adapters, so I took one of the older one that I have, and it works fine, but you might have a problem with that. They do want you to format it in FAT32, just in case you want to know. But anyway, you can stick it in here, and when you put it in here, one quirk is that if you put it in a memory card, it will automatically only give you the option to scan to that memory card. If you take the memory card out, it's scanned to the internal memory. If you scan it to the internal memory, you then have to plug this into your computer to get it out. If you put it on the SD card, then of course you can just take it off. It is powered by the mini USB port here. As I mentioned, it comes with a power adapter. But if you want to, you can also use like a battery pack, which is what I did, make it a little bit portable, because the cable they give you is very short, like literally 3 feet, so it's not very long at all. So I just use a power bank to do that. I do hope the company in the future provide a bit longer cable, but you know, there's also an HDMI output port, and this is pretty cool. You can plug it in to a monitor. I have one right in front of me here, but the way it works is you plug this in, and what happens is when you do plug it in, it does, you know, you can see everything on the screen, and then use the button to operate. However, if you do plug in an HDMI, you do lose the screen here, so you can only see it from your big screen TV or whatever it is that you plug it in. So right now I have it plugged in. When you have an HDMI output plug in here, you do lose your screen. It output now into your screen. This is my monitor, as you can see. Let me see if this can focus a little bit. But here we can now manipulate and move this film, for example. As you can see, I can move and get another picture here. But this is directly output and there's no lag at all, which is really nice. Other than that, you can navigate with a button, pick the pictures you want. You can make some edit. There are a few settings. You can change the red, green and blue tone, and you can also change sharpness and exposure, which is good in a negative. You might want to make some of those edits on the fly right now and kind of get it as close as you can before you bring it into your computer and make some edit, because this might be a little bit more complicated. The device works pretty well and it works pretty fast. I basically, each of these negative I have here is about 4 pictures. So I just put them through, kind of line it up where I want it, and then, you know, if it's all good, I just hit the OK twice to save through memory, and then slide to the next pictures and do the same thing. There's one issue that I ran into it and I couldn't figure it out. And that was, I don't know, because of my HDMI cable or there's something wrong here, but I do have a problem with it kind of freezing once in a while if I plug into the HDMI. I noticed that if I plug into the HDMI and I'm doing view out to it, as I'm scanning, once in a while it might freeze. I don't really know what that is about, maybe it's just my unit. But when I take it away from the HDMI, it seems to work fine. I didn't have that problem, so keep that in mind. So from a ease of use, is a pretty simple device to use. I do like the fact that you can have HDMI out to get a much bigger screen. I do wish that it was powerful enough to display on both screens instead of just one screen. And another nice thing to have would be a touch screen, so you can swipe left and right, you know, to browse your picture if you want to do that. But I guess it's not as important, you know, that's not really the target of this device, I guess. It doesn't come with any software or anything like that, so you know, you just scan the pictures, put it on your computer and edit, do whatever you need to do with it. There was no driver needed if you want to use the USB storage and take the pictures off the internal memory. Another thing that would be nice though is for them to allow you to switch between the internal and external, or transfer some of the internal to the SD card, but that's not possible either. So, you know, it's kind of some of those quirks, but if you can live with those quirks, it's a pretty good device. Scan pretty good pictures. Hopefully through this video I have shown you some of that sample pictures and you can kind of see, keep in mind these are really old negative from me, so the quality is not be that great, but in general I think it produced a pretty good scan. So a great little device if you're looking for something like this to scan your pictures. This is a pretty good little device if you're looking for something like this to scan your old negative pictures that you have and you want to preserve them before they go bad. That is basically my review of this unit. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment box down below. I appreciate it if you guys give me a thumb up and subscribe if you find this video useful, and stay tuned for more future review. Thank you. Have a good holiday.